Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 5. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so let's start with Candace. Candace is looking at homes. She said that she and Chris need more space because after she's thought about it, she thinks she's ready to have a baby. Okay, Chris comes in and joins her as she's doing her search on the internet, and he asks her, how did Karen's block party go the other day? No, not block party, it was a housewarming, and it was cool. She said, I spoke to Giselle and I apologized for the things that I said on Twitter, and she wasn't too accepting of it, so she kind of mocks Giselle's voice, and she says that Giselle says that Robin told her that Wendy told her all of these people talking, that she was a monster. But whatever, she feels like she doesn't have to worry about Giselle too much. All she has to do is stroke her ego a little bit and Giselle will be fine. Now, Monique is a different horse of a different matter, okay? It seems that Monique has invited everybody out to her lake house at the party the other night. Everybody is invited, including Candace. Candace is not sure if she's going to go, though. And Chris says, well, why aren't you going? She was like, because, she and Monique, they ain't really seeing eye to eye. And he says, but you get along with everybody else. Why would you not go just because of one person? Well, it's that one person's house. I would have been like, I ain't going either. But we got a show to shoot around here. So he implores her that she needs to think about going on this trip. And speaking of the green-eyed monster, we see her talking to, I'm assuming that this is Jamal's secretary or executive assistant or whoever that keeps his schedule. Seems that it is hard for Giselle and Jamal to link up, which I would imagine that it would be, considering he has to run a church down here in Atlanta. She has a show to shoot up there in Real Housewives in Potomac. So yeah, it's probably hard for them to link up, traveling back and forth and whatnot, especially when she's shooting the show. But the secretary or the assistant tells her, I love you guys both. I really want this to work. So she's going to make sure that Giselle gets on his calendar no matter what. We see Ashley. Ashley is packing for her trip. Michael comes in with the baby. And he was like, what are you doing? And she says that she's packing to go to this lake house. He says, you're taking the baby. Not a question, you guys. A demand. You are taking this baby. I mean, fine. I understand that he feels like the baby is a newborn baby, even though the baby is now 3 months old. But him saying that 3 days is too long for her to be away from the child. I'm not going to question the way people parent because everybody does things differently. Even though it is Ashley's first child, it's not Michael's first child, but still, I'm not going to even worry about that. I just don't like the fact that it wasn't a discussion. It was really just you are taking this baby. And that's never a good way to approach me. It needs to really be something that we agree on, which they did in the end, but I feel like Ashley didn't really have much choice. So that conversation got on my nerves, you guys. Jumping over to Wendy, she's trying to prepare for her trip. She says it's a lot because, besides her having to run her household, she has her jobs, her many jobs that she has to do. She has this newborn baby who she solely breastfeeds. So now she's got to do a lot of pumping to make sure that the baby has enough food to eat for the 3 days that she's going to be gone. So she's a little stressed about that, okay? So everybody's got their things that they're trying to do line up before said trip. And then, of course, we have Monique, who is the OG busy mom on the show, okay? Again, she explains to us all the things that she has to do to make sure that her day goes smoothly, okay? Not only taking care of the kids in the house and the husband, but now we are going on this trip to the lake house. So now she has to make sure that the lake house is prepared, that everything is there. And she goes through this whole long diatribe. And of course, they make it seem even longer by constantly looping the things that she's saying. And, it's fading into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's a lot, all right, as far as Monique is concerned. So she's super busy, but she wants to make sure that this trip is a success. So she tells him that Giselle and Karen are riding with her. Chris can't believe that her and Giselle are friends. None of us can, Chris. But Monique is hopeful. She says that it's good that she and Giselle spend time together. She thinks that this drive to the lake house, the 2 hours that they'll all be in the car, maybe this will be time for them to bond even closer. And speaking of Giselle, Giselle shows up. It's weird seeing her over at Monique's house, but I guess they're making an effort to be friends, right? So she shows up and, Monique hugs her and lets her in. And then when Giselle sees T'Challa sitting up there on the perch, she was just like, oh, hell no. Monique is so tickled. She think it's so funny that Giselle don't want to be bothered. Even Chris said, I don't fuck with that bird. Monique tells Giselle that she's taking the bird. You know, Giselle's like, where is he going to be sitting? She's like, in the back seat with you, you know, but after a couple of giggles, he's going to be in a cage. Don't worry about it. Okay, because, you know, Giselle's like, that damn bird will be out the window. Then we get Karen there. All right, she shows up in her cute little outfit. And Karen, after she greets, you know, Monique and Giselle, she still can't get over the fact that these two are friends.
Giselle and Monique are chummy. I just hope that Giselle's fashion sense doesn't rub off on Monique. Thank God that Giselle is a good-looking woman, because goddamn, she cannot dress at all. I'm ashamed to be seen with her sometimes, to be honest. I don't know what she's going to come out wearing. Oh, I got a headache talking about Giselle. Does anybody have an Excedrin or Tylenol?
That Giselle's fashion sense is really off. But she doesn't look bad right now. You know, she's got on her little workout gear. Anyways, you guys, the bird. Shitting everywhere. You know, Monique is so tickled. When they go out to the car to take him, you know, on the trip, you know, everybody is just sort of like, we not doing the bird thing. You know, Monique is that wild ass laugh. Girl, it is not that funny. Shit. Put the fucking bird in the cage and let's go. So we get on the road. The bird is in the cage, you guys. Giselle is talking about her schedule and how she's got to go to New York, I believe it is, you know, because her book, she's trying to see if her book is going to get a literary award. You guys know that she has a book that's loosely based on her life as a pastor's wife when the pastor is out there slanging his dang-a-lang for everybody to feel. It must be very interesting to be back with the person that you completely wrote a book about and exposed, you know, back in a relationship with that same person. I mean, I guess. Anyways, the trip. Who's all coming? Monique says, oh, she's just so excited. You know, the lake house is going to be so serene. Them being tucked off into the woods. It looks like Ashley is coming. She's bringing the baby. They were like, well, why can't Michael watch the baby? And she was like, she doesn't know what exactly the reason, but she told her bringing a baby was fine. As far as Candace is concerned, she's not sure if she's coming, but she said that she realizes that even though her and Candace aren't cool, Candace is still cool with the rest of the girls, and she doesn't want to be the one that tries to cause a rift between her and the rest. So she's, you know, invited, and she probably will be there as well. Karen says, is Wendy coming? And she says, yeah, she's coming. Oh, Giselle says, oh, Karen, you know, Wendy had some things to say about you. And she said, did she really? Please don't tell me that, you know. And then Monique says, oh, yeah, she did. You know, Ashley did tell me that she said something about you and Uncle Jessup's sex life.
You know, I'm really shocked that she would say that, because she don't know me. I don't know her. She certainly hasn't been in my bedroom.
She don't even really understand why is it that Wendy feels that she can speak on whether or not she's, you know, fucking Uncle Jessup. Of course, it's a joke, but it is sort of like one of those moments, like if we weren't on a reality show and somebody just automatically assumed because my husband was older that we weren't having sex, and I would be like, bitch, how the fuck you know what I'm doing too? You know? So, I mean, I get it. Obviously, Wendy knows these things, or feels like she knows something about Karen and Uncle Jessup because of the TV show. But of course, she can't say like, I didn't see on the last couple of seasons, you said this, that, and the other. Okay. So that's why Karen is just sort of like, she don't know what I do, but whatever. We get to the lake house and it's really nice. Monique is showing them around, letting them see the rooms. Everybody's deciding on where they're going to be. And then we all settle down in the kitchen for a second. And then it's back on Wendy. Karen says,
I think that you guys are trying to make me feel some kind of way about Wendy.
And they were like, no, we're not. But I think that it's clear that somewhere somebody is trying to build a beef. I'm not really sure why it's happening. If it's the producers, if it's the girls on the show, even if it is Wendy and Karen herself. But they're definitely trying to make something out of nothing. Okay, so while they're sitting in there talking, you guys, there's a knock at the door. And who should it be but Robin? Okay, Robin has brought her late ass there before the sun even went down. She is the second car to get there. Can you believe it? Monique was like, good, you're just in time. Let's go down to the guest house. So she loads everybody up on the golf cart and she drives them down there. She says that when her family, you know, when they all get together, some people crash at the guest house, some people stay up at the main house. Okay, so they go into the guest house. It's a 2-bedroom. perfect for the green-eyed monsters that is Robin and Giselle. They are going to be staying there. Fine. Okay. So let's take it on back to the house. When they get back up to the house, who should pull up next but Candace? Candace has swallowed all of the whatever she might feel, and she listened to Chris. Okay, I do get along with the rest of the girls. I might as well go on to this bitch's house and have a good time. So after greeting Candace, everybody goes back into the house. We still can't quite get past this bird, you know. And again, Monique, you know. Girl, bring it down. Wendy gets there last, and I'm not sure if this was planned or if she just really doesn't know that unless you want to get a good room that you have to get there early. But it kind of probably would have worked out this way for Wendy anyway, because when Wendy comes, Monique tells her, you know, there's a master bedroom that Karen is going to be in. She chose Monique will be in the main master. There is another room that has 2 queen beds, and then there's another room that has a queen, like some sort of queen bunk situation, and there's a crib in there. So Ashley's probably going to be in there because she's bringing the baby. Child, why she say that? Wendy has an attitude, okay? Why does she bring her baby and I got a brand new baby too and I didn't get to bring my baby? Okay, listen. I could see the hackles rising on Wendy's back real quickly, and I was just like, okay, Wendy. I mean, I get it to a certain extent. Like, she got to bring her baby. Why the fuck I didn't get to bring my baby? Why didn't nobody tell me that I could bring my baby too? I probably would have been a little bit annoyed, but I don't know why exactly it needs to go to the extreme that it went to. And so quickly, okay? I kind of feel like Wendy is kind of in this precarious place that happens when we get new housewives on these shows. Like, you have to make a name for yourself because you are trying to get on this show. You are trying to get given a peach, or in this case, a champagne glass. Okay. So sometimes you got to maybe put 20 on 10 just so that people can notice you. And then, you know, they be like, oh yeah, she bring the fire. She's spunky. You know, she can come on in and all of that. So I kind of feel like Wendy might be doing that. But this probably wasn't the best way to do it because, come on, Wendy. All right. If you wanted to bring your fucking baby, if it was that serious, then I would have been like, I'm going to bring my baby and I'll have a nanny come and I'll make sure that the baby is not, you know, interrupting any filming or something like that. She probably didn't feel like she could do something like that. And I get that as well. But I'm just like, girl, you going off on Ashley, you know, and taking it to a completely other place. Now, Ashley gets on our nerves, obviously so, but this wasn't just Ashley. This was Wendy doing way too fucking much. Something is a little off there. Something's a little off, you know, because she talks about her husband and her husband's a lawyer, but, you know, he spends time with the kids. And it's just sort of like, how do you know any of this stuff? I mean, even though we know that Michael told her she taking the baby, and Ashley is not saying that part, you know, Ashley is making it seem more like, oh, I just couldn't be away from my baby for, 3 days. But that's neither here nor there. We'll deal with Ashley and Michael's bullshit later. But I'm sitting here listening to Wendy and I'm going, girl, it is not that serious. Okay. She yelling and fussing and yelling. That's why the damn bird attacked her. The bird was just like, I already know I don't like that bitch. And then all of that screaming, even though I'm telling you, I would have probably had a good scream fit too, because I don't fuck with birds. Like, I'm fine with birds, but I don't want them on me. I definitely don't want one flattering around my face. Monique was like, you scared T'Challa? Had to go put him on the potty. Because the nigga he had the shits after that. Yeah, I was just like, Wendy, you doing too much. Girl, you doing too much. Even the girls tried to explain to her, like, she's a new mom. I'm a new mom too. Well, not exactly. You're a 3rd-time mother. Yes, your baby is new, but, you know, it's just like, I just was like, oh, God, I am so tired of this. So Monique was like, wait a minute, hold on, everybody, let's just bring it down, okay? I don't know why we all huffed up in the chest and everything. Let's just relax, Candace tells Wendy, let's have some champagne. Let's have a good time here, okay? Take a deep breath. Everybody is in their rooms, and we see Karen call Uncle Jessup.
Hello, so do you miss me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Uncle Jessup is just sort of like, yes! And that's all we hear. Evidently, the reception is bad there because Giselle's trying to talk to her family and she can't. And Wendy is trying to talk to her family and she can't. I'm like, you guys are in the middle of the woods. What do you expect to happen at this beach house? Put your fucking phones down. I mean, I understand that you want to FaceTime them. Just call them regular. I'm sure that probably works fine. When Wendy gets some free time, she sits down with Monique and she was just like, so what is the kind of like the objective of the weekend? And Monique was like, well, I just kind of felt like it was for us all to kind of, bond, get to know each other better. But I'm glad you say something because I kind of want to talk to you about, what happened earlier. It was sort of like what Ashley bringing the baby, it was like a trigger. And so then Wendy goes into this whole thing about how it was, a lot for her to have to leave the baby because, she breastfeeds and she's got to prepare to do this, that, and the other. And she just, so she was just kind of upset that she had to go through all of these things. And it was so easy for Ashley to come with the baby. And Monique was like, girl, if you would have just told me that, I would have told you, I would have just said, bring the baby. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Everybody here has kids. Everybody knows how it can sometimes be. Okay, we at the fucking lake house. It's not like we out in Australia and we doing this, that, and the other. Like it's a relaxed little situation. All you maybe had to do was say something. Wendy being new, maybe she felt like she couldn't do that. Monique is just like, we just kind of don't know you, so we don't really know how you communicate or talk. And so, maybe things just got real elevated real quickly because we're not understanding that you're not being argumentative. Maybe you're just trying to get your point because Wendy was really trying to get her point across. But it's okay. We're going to retreat to the rooms. Everybody can get dressed for dinner. So Wendy goes on off. Then we see Candace. Candace gets the golf cart after she gets dressed and she drives on down to the guest home. And when she goes inside, child, when that Giselle came out and whatever the fuck, that tulle with the damn pearls. Now, the shirt itself was not that bad, even though I was just like, what? Why did we have on the patent leather mini skirt with it, you guys? Who the fuck dresses Giselle? It's just like Karen said, I be embarrassed for her sometimes. It's like, what is this? Anyway, Candace sits down with her again, and she tells Giselle again that, yeah, maybe she should have got on Twitter and said the things that she said. She apologizes for calling her house a tear down and a cabin house and whatever. So Candace apologizes and Giselle says she appreciates that. She accepts the apology. She was like, good thing you did, girl, because you was kicked off the wedding list. And she was just like, wedding? Are we getting married? And she was like, well, no, not, I was just like, girl, you gonna remarry Jamal? Maybe we just need to kind of just play this whole boyfriend-girlfriend thing and see how that works out. But alas, they are friends again. Robin is in the other room getting ready. So come on, girl, finish getting dressed so we can drive up to the main house and have us some dinner. So they get back up there. The place is really nice. There's a pool outside. Monique had the dinner table set up by the pool, very nicely done with flowers and everything. And she has somebody there that's cooking the meals for them. Once everyone gets seated, the chef, whatever his name is, comes out and tells them that, the first course is going to be like this, some sort of strawberry cucumber salad. It's arranged real nicely. Okay, she's done it up. Ashley says, well, she was talking to Monique earlier and they decided that they're going to play a game. And Monique was like, yes, the game is called the Game of Curiosity. And so each of the housewives there will ask everybody a question. And, the whole idea is to go a little deeper than, just something off the surface. We trying to really get to the nitty gritty, okay? Trying to start a fucking fight. But we start off pretty lightly. Monique asked Candace what was her school age years like. And Candace says, actually, it was kind of difficult because she was the only brown girl and it was tough. Ashley says, is that why you went on to study African American studies or whatever at Howard? And she says, yes, actually it was. And then Giselle jumps in and says, and so is that when you had your nose job? And Candace was like, what? She said, is that when you had your nose job? She's like, oh, a nose job? Okay, when did I have a nose job? Giselle was like, oh, I thought it was common knowledge that you had a nose job. She was like, when did you hear that I had a nose job? You know, they show a picture of her from 2002. Nose looks exactly the same to me. I've actually had some people tell me that her nose looks different. I was like, you guys, it's called contouring. Her nose looks exactly the same. Like, her nose is not, you know, so Giselle was just like, you didn't get a nose job? And she was just like, I didn't get it. I don't even think she said she didn't get a nose job. She just kept saying like, no, like, you know, kind of like, fool, ain't even nobody gonna answer you. Does it look like you guys? Does it look like she's got a nose job to you guys? I really think that maybe she stepped up her makeup game. She's gotten her hair together and maybe it just casts a different look on her face, but her nose looks the same to me. Someone asked Robin, will she marry Juan? Okay, and why, you know, after a long whatever, Robin says yes. Karen turns around since she's kind of bothered that she jumped on Candace like that. She was just like,
well, Giselle, let me ask you something. Now that you and Jamal are together after he cheated on you, how is it now being back together with him?
Giselle was just like, oh, well, I'm glad you asked that. I mean, not really, but I mean, you know, we just kind of had a discussion. It's all about trust now. We both forgave each other and decided that we were going to move on. What else can you say to a question like that? Turns around and asks Ashley, Ashley, has your booty hole healed? And Ashley says no.
Is your booty hole important to your marriage? Like, do you have to use your booty hole in your marriage?
They asked Karen, did she use her booty hole? She was just like,
my booty hole is retired. I don't have to do that anymore.
I was like, I know that's right. Leave that to you, young lady, trying to keep your man. Shit, all that backdoor action, no, thank you. So everybody gets a good laugh out of that, right? And then Karen looks over at Wendy and she's just like, okay, Wendy, let's do it. So the girls have told me, Giselle mentioned, and Robin spilled the beans. She told me that you have questions about the intimacy between me and Uncle Jessup. Listen, if you want to know what's going on inside of my panties, this is not the way to do it. Is there anything that you want to ask me? Real good and direct to the point. I love the fact that Karen said that to Wendy because the shit has been shady. All right. Kind of knocked Wendy off her square. She wasn't quite prepared for that amount of directness. Wendy said that Karen just makes her feel like she's always being dismissive towards her. And she said that is not true. Okay. Even though they did show a clip of Wendy saying hi to Karen and Karen's just like, hi, Wendy. And then she turns around and starts talking to somebody else. But I understand what Karen is saying. Like, I haven't spent more than 5 minutes with her. Like, I don't really know her like that. You know, Wendy was just like, we sit on a board together. Like, we've been in the same meetings and everything. That doesn't mean anything. I have been to plenty of meetings with people for years working where I work. And, you know, from different departments and everything. And I still don't know them. I know who they are, but that's that, you know. So Wendy's still, you know, I guess the determination of knowing each other is just different. But Karen says,
well, Wendy, you know, we can get to know each other. You know, we can have lunch together or we can have dinner.
Okay. Wendy says, yes, dinner.
Okay, dinner. We're going to have dinner. Fine.
Okay. So we move off of that. Then Wendy and Ashley get into it again about what happened earlier. Okay. Ashley tells her that she was just like very voracious in the way that she attacked her. And she said, no, she was passionate about how she felt. Okay. Ashley says, yeah, but you tried to bring my husband and my kids into it, which she did, you know, talking about her husband being a lawyer and he still, you know. So then they start this whole back and forth. And again, it gets really, really elevated really, really quickly. I was like, Wendy, listen, I get you. I do. But this is, you doing too much, girl. You is doing too much. This is not the way for the girls to like you. This is not the way for the viewers to start to like you. I'm not saying that I still don't like Wendy, but I feel like Wendy needs to kind of just figure it out a little bit. You cannot make everybody be like, this bitch is crazy. When Ashley says that she needs to apologize, Wendy was like, I don't feel like I need to apologize. Everything doesn't have to be an apology situation. Okay, which is like, it don't really have to be an apology. It would have been cool if she said it. But if she don't, fine. Like, I'm so sick of them always feeling like they've got to have an apology, you know? So then Robin, with her dumb ass, who can't never understand nothing, you know, she loves to insert herself in things and be like, okay, well, let me just ask, you know, for her own clarification. If you knew that it upset Ashley and, you know, you kind of admitted that you maybe went a little overboard, why wouldn't you apologize? Wendy says she ain't apologizing. She's sticking to it. Girl, just say sorry. Or listen, I'm sorry about, this is that apology that really don't really count. I'm sorry if I offended you. Girl, give her one of those and let's get on with the day. Because all this yelling and screaming, okay, and everybody kind of looking at you like, you doing a whole lot. Wendy told Ashley she don't fuck with fake bitches like her. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I don't understand, but I guess. So now it looks like Wendy and Ashley got a problem with each other. Wendy and Karen have a problem with each other. Monique and Candace got a problem with each other. None of the beefs really make all that much sense, but like I said, we got a show to shoot, y'all. Fine. All right, guys, let me get off of here, get on upstairs, get this edited and out for you guys. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox, and everything else I do be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.